In the heart of Cairo's Egyptian Museum, a team of international archaeologists had gathered around the Solar Barque of Khufu, one of the most enigmatic artifacts of ancient Egypt. The massive wooden ship, unearthed near the Great Pyramid of Giza, had always been interpreted as a ceremonial vessel meant to carry the pharaoh's soul to the afterlife. But Dr. Miriam El-Amin, an esteemed Egyptologist with a penchant for challenging conventional narratives, had a different theory. "This isn't a ceremonial boat," Miriam declared, her voice trembling with excitement as she pointed to an intricate series of hieroglyphs etched into the beams of the bark. "These are not funerary texts. They're technical schematics." Her colleagues exchanged skeptical glances, but Miriam was undeterred. Months of research had led her to this moment. The hieroglyphs depicted Ra's nightly journey through the underworld, but their arrangement and symbolism suggested something far more advanced than a mythological tale. Hidden within the glyphs were geometric patterns and sequences that mirrored modern engineering blueprints. If her theory was correct, the Solar Barque wasn't just a religious artifact, it was a piece of technology, a remnant of something far older and more advanced than human civilization. The excavation site was buzzing with activity. Miriam and her team had received special permission to conduct a deeper analysis of the Solar Barque. As they carefully dismantled parts of the ship for non-invasive scanning, a surprising find emerged, a hidden compartment in the keel, sealed with a resin that had fossilized over millennia. Inside was a cylindrical object made of a material that defied identification. Dr. Kamal Rashid, the team's materials expert, examined the cylinder with growing awe. "This isn't wood, stone, or metal," he murmured. "It's something else entirely. Lightweight, durable, and it doesn't react to our standard testing methods. Whatever this is, it's not of this earth." The cylinder contained a rolled-up sheet covered in hieroglyphs and symbols that bore no resemblance to any known script. Miriam's heart raced as she studied it. The glyphs seemed to form a continuous sequence, as though they were instructions. "We need to decode this," Miriam said, her voice firm. "If this is what I think it is, we're about to rewrite everything we know about ancient Egypt." For weeks, Miriam and her team worked tirelessly to decode the glyphs. Collaborating with linguists and cryptologists, they uncovered a startling revelation. The text wasn't a narrative, but a guide. It described a process of energy manipulation, navigation through gravitational fields, and the maintenance of a propulsion system. The references to Ra and the underworld were metaphors, simplifying complex astrophysical concepts for a population that worshipped celestial phenomena. The text also revealed a shocking truth about the Solar Barque. It wasn't a primitive boat, but an emergency escape pod, part of a fleet designed to evacuate passengers from a massive interstellar vessel. The myth of Ra's nightly journey through the underworld was a garbled retelling of the ship's passage through space, a journey fraught with cosmic hazards and requiring meticulous engineering to survive. The sun god Ra wasn't just a deity, Miriam said during a team briefing. He was a pilot, a custodian of this advanced technology. The Solar Barque's true purpose was to navigate the stars. Her words hung in the air, heavy with implication. If the Solar Barque was a remnant of alien technology, what did that say about the origins of ancient Egyptian civilization? Were the pyramids and other architectural marvels influenced by extraterrestrial visitors? As Miriam's findings gained international attention, the Egyptian government granted her team access to explore deeper within the Great Pyramid. The pyramid, long thought to be a tomb, had puzzled researchers for centuries with its precise alignment to celestial bodies and the inexplicable accuracy of its construction. Using ground-penetrating radar, the team discovered a vast underground chamber connected to the pyramid's base. Inside was a colossal structure resembling the frame of a spacecraft. The walls were lined with panels covered in the same unidentifiable material as the cylinder. Ancient hieroglyphs described this place as the solar womb, where the journey to the stars began. "This is it," Miriam whispered, her voice trembling. "The mothership, or what's left of it." The chamber contained remnants of machinery, gears, levers, and crystalline components that suggested a level of technology far beyond what humanity had achieved even today. Yet the machinery appeared dormant, as though it had been waiting millennia for someone to awaken it. Among the artifacts was a central console inscribed with hieroglyphs and alien symbols. Miriam carefully traced her fingers over the carvings, feeling a strange warmth emanate from the console. Suddenly, the chamber came to life. Lights flickered, and a low hum filled the air as the machinery stirred for the first time in over 4,000 years. The activated console projected a holographic display of the solar system, showing the Earth, the Sun, and a distant star system that Miriam didn't recognize. A voice, melodic and ancient, filled the chamber, speaking in an incomprehensible language. The team's linguist, Dr. Alara Voss, scrambled to record the sounds, her face pale with astonishment. "It's some kind of message," Alara said. "Maybe a log or a warning." As they worked to decipher the message, Miriam's mind raced. If the Solar Barque was an escape pod, then what had the aliens been fleeing from? And why had they come to Earth? The hieroglyphs on the console offered a partial answer. The mothership had been part of a fleet exploring habitable worlds when it suffered catastrophic damage. Earth had been the nearest refuge, and the solar barques were launched to save the crew. The message also hinted at a greater mystery. It spoke of the starborn annihilation, a cataclysmic event that had destroyed their home system. The survivors had hoped to rebuild on Earth, but something had gone wrong. The mothership systems had been deactivated, and the technology's secrets had been buried to prevent them from falling into the wrong hands. As Miriam pieced together the fragments of the alien story, a sense of urgency gripped her. The activation of the mothership systems had likely sent a signal into space, potentially alerting whoever or whatever had destroyed the aliens' home system. The Solar Barque's secret was no longer just an academic discovery. It was a Pandora's box that could have far-reaching consequences. With funding from international organizations and private benefactors, Miriam's team accelerated their research. They discovered that the Solar Barque's propulsion system relied on a form of energy manipulation involving dark matter, a concept only theoretical in human science. The hieroglyphs provided clues on how to activate the system, but the process was incredibly complex. As they worked, Miriam couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Reports of strange phenomena began to surface around the excavation site: unexplained lights in the sky, equipment failures, and a growing sense of unease among the team. "We've opened something we don't fully understand," Miriam confided to Kamal one night. "But we can't stop now. This isn't just history. It's the future of humanity." It was past midnight when the first major incident occurred. The excavation site was eerily quiet, save for the soft hum of machinery and the occasional murmur of the night shift team. Miriam was reviewing data in her tent when a loud crackling noise broke the silence. She rushed outside to find the sky illuminated by an unnatural light, pulsating in rhythmic patterns. "What is that?" Kamal asked, joining her. His voice was tinged with awe and fear. Before anyone could respond, a low-frequency vibration shook the ground. Equipment toppled over, and the team scrambled for safety. The light coalesced into a sphere, hovering just above the excavation site. It radiated a warmth that was both comforting and disconcerting. From the sphere emerged a figure, tall, humanoid, but undeniably alien. Its skin shimmered with iridescent hues, and its eyes glowed with an inner light. The team froze, caught between terror and fascination. The alien raised a hand, and the vibrations ceased. A voice resonated in their minds, bypassing language barriers. "You have awakened what was meant to be forgotten. We are here to ensure it remains so." Miriam stepped forward, her heart pounding. "Who are you? Why was this buried?" The alien's gaze bore into her. "We are the Wardens of the Void. The starborn annihilation was no accident. It was a purge. And now, you risk drawing the Purge Makers to your world." The alien's warning left the team stunned. As it began to dematerialize, it left them with a cryptic final message: "Protect the Solar Barque, or all will be lost." The next morning, the site was on high alert. Security personnel, brought in by the Egyptian government, patrolled the perimeter. Miriam sat with Kamal and Alara, replaying the events of the night in her mind. The alien's words echoed incessantly. A purge. The Purge Makers. We need to understand what this purge was, Miriam said, breaking the silence, and why they went to such lengths to bury this technology. Alara adjusted her headset and began sifting through the recordings of the alien's voice. The language, it's dense, layered. There are meanings within meanings. If the glyphs were like schematics, this speech is like a fractal. As they worked, another anomaly emerged. The console in the underground chamber had begun emitting a low, continuous hum, detectable even at the surface. Instruments placed nearby reported fluctuating energy fields, and a faint electromagnetic pulse disrupted some of their equipment. Kamal frowned as he looked at the readings. If this keeps up, it could attract attention, not just from the stars, but from right here on Earth. Miriam nodded grimly. We're running out of time. Whatever this is, we need to unlock it before someone or something else intervenes. The continuous hum from the underground chamber grew louder, resonating through the excavation site. Miriam, Kamal, and Alara stood before the ancient console, its symbols pulsating with an otherworldly light. It's responding to something, Kamal observed, his voice tinged with both awe and apprehension. Alara, eyes fixed on the console, added, the patterns, they resemble star maps, but not of our current sky. It's as if it's pointing to a different time or place. Miriam's mind raced. If the Solar Barque is truly an escape pod, perhaps it's attempting to reconnect with its origin or signal others. Suddenly, the ground trembled. The Solar Barque, which had remained inert for millennia, began to levitate, its wooden structure shimmering as if infused with newfound energy. It's activating, Miriam exclaimed, stepping back in astonishment. The barque emitted a beam of light, projecting a holographic image into the chamber. The projection depicted a vast spacecraft, eerily similar to the descriptions in the hieroglyphs they had studied. Alara whispered, the mothership. As the image rotated, it highlighted a section of the ship, zooming in to reveal a series of symbols matching those on the console. Kamal deciphered aloud, coordinates. It's providing coordinates. Miriam's eyes widened. It's showing us where the mothership is located. Perhaps it's still here, buried deeper beneath the sands or submerged nearby. The projection shifted, now displaying a sequence of events. The mothership's arrival on Earth, the catastrophic damage it sustained, and the deployment of the solar barques. The final image was a warning symbol, followed by a depiction of a looming darkness consuming stars. The Purge Makers, Alara murmured. They annihilated their home system, and now this technology's reactivation might draw them here. The barque's light intensified, and a synthesized voice filled the chamber. Warning, activation sequence initiated. External threats detected. Immediate action required to prevent planetary jeopardy. Miriam turned to her team, determination in her eyes. We need to locate the mothership and understand its technology. It's our only hope to protect Earth from the impending threat. Kamal nodded. But we must proceed cautiously. The Wardens of the Void warned us for a reason. Alara added, and we should consider the implications of our actions. Unveiling this technology could change the course of human history, for better or worse. Miriam took a deep breath. Agreed. We'll assemble a specialized team, consult with global leaders, and approach this with the utmost care. The fate of our world may depend on it. As the solar barque gently descended back to its original position, the chamber's lights dimmed, leaving the team in contemplative silence. The journey ahead was fraught with uncertainty, but one thing was clear. The secrets of the Solar Barque were the key to humanity's survival against an ancient and formidable adversary. The revelation of the Solar Barque's true nature and the impending threat of the Purge Makers propelled Miriam and her team into a whirlwind of activity. Recognizing the global implications, they reached out to international leaders, scientists, and military officials, convening a summit under the guise of an archaeological symposium in Cairo. In a secured conference room beneath the Egyptian Museum, Miriam presented their findings. Holographic projections displayed the ancient hieroglyphs alongside translations and interpretations, culminating in the activation sequence of the Solar Barque. Ladies and gentlemen, Miriam addressed the assembly. What we have uncovered is not merely a relic of the past, but a beacon that has the potential to alter our future. The Purge Makers, as referenced in these texts, represent an existential threat. We must decipher the alien technology embedded within the Solar Barque to defend our planet. Skepticism was palpable among the delegates. Dr. Heinrich Strauss, a renowned physicist, voiced the collective doubt. Dr. El-Amin, are we to believe that ancient Egyptians possessed interstellar technology? This challenges the very foundation of our understanding of history and science. Miriam anticipated this reaction. I understand the skepticism. However, our analyses, corroborated by multiple independent studies, indicate that the Solar Barque's construction materials and the encoded schematics are of non-terrestrial origin. We are dealing with remnants of an advanced civilization that once sought refuge on Earth. General Marcus Hayes of the United States Space Command leaned forward. Assuming this is true, what offensive capabilities does this technology offer? How can we be certain it will function after millennia of dormancy? Kamal interjected, the energy readings we've recorded suggest that the Solar Barque systems are not only operational but self-sustaining. The activation sequence we initiated was merely the first step. With further study, we believe we can unlock its full potential. After hours of deliberation, the assembly reached a consensus. A multinational task force would be established, combining scientific expertise, military strategy, and diplomatic channels to explore and harness the Solar Barque's technology. The mission was clear: prepare Earth for a potential confrontation with the Purge Makers. The newly formed task force, dubbed Project RA, established a research facility adjacent to the Giza Plateau. Top minds from various disciplines collaborated, focusing on deciphering the star maps projected by the Solar Barque. Dr. Alara Voss led the linguistic team, delving into the alien symbols interwoven with the hieroglyphs. Her expertise in ancient languages was crucial in unraveling the complex script. These symbols, she noted, share structural similarities with known hieroglyphs but represent concepts far beyond our historical lexicon. Meanwhile, Dr. Kamal Rashid and his team of astrophysicists analyzed the celestial coordinates depicted in the star maps. They cross-referenced the alien constellations with Earth's night sky, seeking correlations. Some star formations align with our current constellations, Kamal observed, but others suggest a vantage point from a different location in the galaxy, or perhaps a different era. As weeks turned into months, the team made a breakthrough. By overlaying the alien star maps with ancient Egyptian celestial charts, they discovered that the maps corresponded to a specific time period in Earth's history. The alignment matches the sky as it appeared approximately 4,000 years ago, Kamal announced. This suggests that the aliens not only visited Earth, but also documented our celestial environment during that era. Further analysis revealed that the star maps contain navigational routes, possibly indicating the path taken by the alien mothership before its arrival on Earth. These routes, Alara explained, could provide insights into the origins of the Purge Makers and the trajectory they followed. However, the team faced a daunting challenge. The star maps also contained references to advanced propulsion systems and energy sources beyond current human understanding. Deciphering these aspects was crucial for developing defenses against the potential threat of the Purge Makers. Amidst the scientific endeavors, Miriam couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Reports of unexplained phenomena around the research facility increased: strange lights in the sky, equipment malfunctions, and an overwhelming sense of unease among the team members. We must remain vigilant, she reminded her colleagues. Our pursuit of knowledge may have already attracted unwanted attention. As Project RA delved deeper into the mysteries of the Solar Barque star maps, the realization dawned that their discoveries could alter humanity's understanding of its place in the cosmos. The ancient vessel, once thought to be a mere relic, now stood as a testament to a profound connection between Earth and the stars, a connection that held the key to both unprecedented advancement and unimaginable peril.